Hey everyone, what's up? This is Groovasex Roger, and welcome back to the Can You Play Descent Solo? Yes. And hopefully you're enjoying this. And I gotta apologize about before on the camera. I noticed I was kind of like down like this, where I should be more on top of it. So forgive my filming on that. And we are about to activate the heroes. And I do want to clarify something with this Shadow Dragon that I'd said before. Whoops, I had to move him because I was looking at something, but he was right there. With this power he has, Shadow, that you can't, if you're adjacent, you have to spend the surge. But if you are a ranged character like Jane Fairwood, you don't need that. So it's only on adjacent heroes that you have to use a surge. Ranged, you're good to go. Okay, so without further ado, Cinderella is going to be at first, and both of her actions are just going to be attacking. And I'd like to spend this rage to perform an attack with a melee weapon. This attack gains +1, but she's already at 3 exertion. I try to save that, but I always seem to spend it. But I'm just going to go with the first attack straight out with the chipped great axe. Total miss. Good thing I didn't. Second, and that's another terrible roll. No surges, no damage. She's already completely done. So she's done. Averick here has no exertion, and what's his limit there? It's 4. So what I'm going to do is, notice he's right here. I'm going to spend an exertion on him to get him to move 1, and I'm going to move him adjacent to that Shadow Dragon, and so now I have, of course, 2 actions, which will be attacks, and he's just got the Iron Mace that you have to spend the surge if I want to stun that. So let's see what happens. What I need? Yellow. Okay. First attack. Another miss. This is going great, isn't it? Second attack. Not really much better. Okay, got the surge, so I did hit with only 2 damage. And looking at the defense of a Shadow Dragon, they get 2 gray dice for defense. Well, I managed to do 1. It's better than nothing. So the Shadow Dragon is down from 9 hit points down to 8. And his turn is finished. Last up for the heroes is Jane Fairwood. And I always say I like to hang on to the exertion, but I definitely want to now, more than ever, try to get as many hits in as I can. So I'm going to move her 1 and use my last exertion. And let me explain for probably people who already know this, but for all the new people watching, her maximum exertion is 5. I'm at 5 now. I cannot no longer put any more on her. However, if a monster has an ability that makes her take exertion, the excess is turned into wounds. So at this point, if I could rest, I could take some off, but she's at max. But I did get her so she can move. And following line of sight, from edge to edge there, and she does have line of sight that way to fire on him. So, first attack, and she's got the U short bow, and let's see what happens. Well, she doesn't need a surge to attack. So there's 2 damage, and then, her short bow, she could use a surge to do 1 extra, so there's a possible 3 damage there. Shadow Dragon rolls none. Wow. 3 damage. So got him down to 5 health. And for her final attack is plenty of range, only 2. So Shadow Dragon defense totally blocks it. Not too good. Done. Okay, so now it is the Overlord's turn, or Baylords if you want to go that route, and you always draw a card at the beginning. And this is Dark Charm, and what this does is when the Overlord plays this card, which I would say, yes, he's going to play this card, more than, no doubt. Okay, the hero has to test his willpower. Now if he passes, the Overlord just draws 1 card, no big deal, but if he fails, you can perform a move or an attack with that hero. So you put him in, Dark Charm, he's like kind of in a trance. and you can oh, you cannot force him to take exertion or use a potion, but you can attack yourself or, of course, another hero. So Baylor will do that, and this is another good example of the brains of Baylor. So Cinderella would probably be the biggest one because she is the biggest damage dealer. So let's do the trick with the D6. A Cinderella will attack herself on a roll from 1 to 3. If not, she will hit Averick. So let's see who she's going to attack, and it will be herself. So put that aside, grab the dice, and wow, that's kind of a lot of damage. 3 plus her great axe would give her that, so 4. Now I would say too that some people might ask, well, can you roll defense? I would say no. Because, you know, if you're in a trance, you're not going to be able to defend. So I think that's just totally straight damage that you would take. You could put it in the comment section, but I believe that's how that you would play Dark Charm. So she has 4 damage. So we're just going to take this 1 off and grab a 5 out of here. By the way, if you get the scent, you definitely need one of these things. Okay, so that was just the start of it. Okay, let's see. I've got something planned, or Baylor has something planned for this dragon, but let's do Splig. He's got one of the prisoners in the interrogation room, and if you remember from last interrogation, his might, he has to test his might, and his might is 4. 4 and under, he can flip that to see if it is Frederick, the guy he is looking for, and he fails. That's a 5. So Splig is going to be done. Let's activate the Shadow Dragon. The Shadow Dragon is going to, you know, they can do, just for the new ones watching, heroes can do 2 attacks at a time, but monsters can only move and attack. And they can open a door, but they can move and attack or move, vice versa. So for the first thing that this Shadow Dragon is going to do, and I think that this is going to get played right now, possibly play this card when a monster attacks a hero after rolling dice. So Baylor may be using that. So we're going to roll right here. It's going to hit Cinderella. I was going to do the D6 trick, but since I think the Overlord would go to possibly kill a hero. So roll, they attack with a red and blue, and there's 3, no surge. So Cinderella has to block against 3 damage. Nothing. I'm going to use this Wording Talisman, and what happens when we flip this card over after rolling defense dice, we could add 2 to the results. So right there we can take 2 of these off. So she just has to take 1 damage. So she's up to 6. Now, to me, what an Overlord would do for a possible strategy. There's other ones you could deploy in other scenarios, but for this particular one, attack and then move back. So 1, 2, and 3. And remember, they expand back to their size. So he moves back and to make way for these Goblin Archers. So they will activate next. And what we're going to do is they're going to, first of all, grab the prisoner for their first action. So, and then he's going to move back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now he can't drop that prisoner off because that would, he's already used his action. Same for this one. Use an action, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And next turn they will be able to drop off the prisoners. And real quick, so I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. This Master Goblin is going to attack Cinderella, 4 away, and he rolls a yellow and a blue. And wow, that's pretty big, because he can use, he doesn't need the range, or yes he does, he would have to use that range because he only has 1, 2, 3 with that. So he would have to use that to get that. But in any case, Cinderella has to block 3 damage. Blocks all 3, awesome. And then he is done now. The other one's going to move up. 1, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to trace a line here. Yeah, definitely. So right there. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3. And the last goblin attacks. And he has something called Cowardly. And basically what that is to use any surges, you have to be by a lieutenant or a master. So he does get that benefit. Let's roll. And that's a really good roll for him. He's got 2 of them. 2 surges. So definitely, look more time. He has got, he can use that. So that is going to be 4 damage that Cinderella is going to have to block. See how she does. 2, blocks 2, takes 2 damage. Cinderella is at 8 hit points. But you know what? No, she's not, because, well, she is, but the Overlord, playing as Baylor, play this card when when a monster attacks a hero after rolling dice. The attack gains +3. So, if you notice, he had an extra surge. That's another 3 damage. So he would play Crippling Blow. And on Cinderella, that's just another 3 damage on top of that. So hopefully you're seeing that this game is possible to solo. It's actually kind of fun. And in closing, so let's see, let's just take these away. Why don't we do this? Let's clean it. Do a little upkeep here. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Replace that with a 5. So Cinderella is in really bad shape. So in closing here, and we'll discard this, and I think we're going to be good to go for next turn. Shadow Dragon has 4 damage. So let me just say this, that this game isn't like chess, where you have all these different strategy and tactics, and as Overlord, you do, but I think I'm doing things, or Baylor, or however you want to say it, that a normal person would do, unless you're totally out to lunch and you do something really ridiculous. But it's good fun. I like it, you know. Give yourself some options with the D6 die, you know, different scenarios. So every time you play this, believe me, it's not going to be the same time, you know. I'll have some stuff in my final thoughts with this. But anyway, here's where it is right now. And hopefully you're enjoying this. I'm going to go upload this and start turn 4. So we will see who could be Frederick. I will talk to you guys in a bit with Descent, Journey in the Dark, 2nd edition. See you then.